Hello and welcome. So today we're checking out a Mecha sword. We did check out this deck not long ago. I think it might have been a little while ago. It's been more than a few weeks, I think, at this point, if my memory is serving me correctly. Either way, I think in that video I originally talked about how Arm Still wasn't a very good card. I have left it in. I played this deck, and while Arm Still isn't a crazy good card, it's definitely not a bad option, and at least has some viability to it. So there's definitely that. It is a reasonably legendary heavy deck, running more than what the average about 9 would be. So that's there. It's still running Angelic Smites, although I'm not really sure if I'd want to run 3 anymore. Would like to maybe cut that down to 2. I would again need to test this deck more. I go through a lot of decks, and some of these decks I fall back on missions, but don't get to do much more playtesting other than that. So when I make some of these videos, I really notice some inconsistencies. But outside of that, we're going to get right into it and check it out. So, first up, we will be playing against Rune, I think, and it's doing that black-green thing again where it takes a while to load the match. I apologize. I usually start the recording section immediately after the loading ends, so sometimes we end up with that black issue. Not a big problem.
Revel in the power of flame.
If you've noticed, I do still sound a bit sick, because I still am. I'm hoping, again, by the time I finish this set of videos that I'm doing now, I should be better by the time you guys have finished watching them. That's my hope at least, but we'll have to wait and see, since at this point this video is only coming out, so hopefully we'll keep starting us off here. We don't really have anything to play as far as a good turn 1 play goes, so that's a little disappointing. Turn 2 though is pretty promising. The Mecha Wing Angels are good, Robogolem's good. This deck does rely heavily on swarming and using things like Auto Blade. I think actually this first match was very mediocre since it was a reasonably early concede. That happens, unfortunately, when you play a deck like this, since it is quite fast and packs quite a punch, especially once you see how it was handled. So there you go for the 3-4 play. Unfortunately, leaving up this combination on board is the worst possible thing they could have done. I just have to Evo this, instantly destroy the 3-4, and go face for 7 damage. That's not a position a Rune player ever wants to be in, because they just don't handle that well, and that is why I wanted to include this. This is just how easily a deck like this can snowball. Plus, I am trying to make some easier content for you guys while I'm sick, so hopefully you guys understand. Plus, there's not really a lot of new decks going around at the moment. We've covered the vast majority of the rotation meta, we've covered a reasonable chunk of the unlimited meta over the last month, and until the mini expansion comes out, we're not looking at anything too crazy special, and I don't have the energy or time to look at too many meme crazy decks and spend a lot of time trying to win some games with those right now while I'm not feeling very well. So I'm trying to focus on just getting better and doing not so much the bare minimum, but still getting those daily videos out for you guys, even if they aren't the best. I just hope you guys do fully understand that. But this match, not going as well as the first one. We are going up against an ambush sword deck, which does mean we do have to take care of these ambush followers, which is always an unfortunate thing. This deck actually handles it better than most, to be honest. The Ivory Sword Dance and the Techno, which are both heavily supported in this deck, do a wonderful job. And honestly, I wanted to hold on to Stampeding Fortress, but I needed something on board here. Most ambush decks, since you've seen, I've probably done an ambush sword video, you would have seen that by now if you've kept up with my videos. Honestly, as soon as you lose both, or all 3 of your Leods, it's game over. And our opponent here actually went for all 3 of their Leods super early, which is just dangerous, honestly, if I have to put it any way. All I can really do right now is try and remove as many as possible here. Fortunately, we got a pretty average split. At best, we were only destroying 1 Leod. At the very best, we would have destroyed the evolved one, since I really needed to have that forced out, but we did buy ourselves a little bit of time, at least. We definitely have a chance. I mean, they're not going for big swings, they're not being able to boost these very quickly. We're setting up pretty nicely for our Techno Lord, which is going to be our big removal play, I reckon, so that's looking good. And we've managed to chip away at anything else they play while also getting good damage in. We're actually handling this battle a lot better than I was hoping. Unfortunately, Dancing played, I didn't expect to see that. It's definitely not something you see all the time. At least Ironforged Hero is a good play. And our Techno Lord does clear out the last one, so we're pretty set. And now since I don't have anything else, I'm going to go for Arms Dealer. I did decide to just chuck the other Arms Dealer. I didn't really need both at that point. And most of the other cards, even Robo Golem has a little bit more value. And for us now, it's just a matter of swinging. We can go for whatever we want, pretty much set ourselves up, and just deal as much damage as possible. The only other real threat is them buffing something like this Knight here, and honestly, I'm not usually too concerned about that. Especially when I have 14 health. If I was around 8, I might worry a little bit, but being a 14, it's really a non-issue. So this video definitely was on the shorter side, which is good for me since, again, not feeling the best, but it's a fun deck. I always enjoyed the Mecha Sword variants at the moment. They seem to be doing very well as well, I guess. That's a terrible sentence, but that's the case. I've always enjoyed them so far with the new cards, especially. They're always doing a wonderful job. They always hold themselves up, and it's something I use quite regularly if I need to just get some games done quickly, because you can win or lose very quickly with this deck, which is usually a good sign for climbing, and I usually go pretty positive, so very happy to use this one. Also, Evo Blood's another good one for that, actually, that I've found I use quite a bit. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to like button and subscribe. You'll find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, guys, see ya.